Spiritual Synthesis, Meditating into Out-of-Body Experiences by NightTime Guru. Chapter 1, Meditation. Sleep is unconscious meditation. Meditation is conscious sleep. By Unknown. There are many concepts about what meditation is. As stated in the above quote, the most important component of a deep meditation is awareness throughout stages that we call sleep, which is really just a state of deep, unaware relaxation of the mind from the physical body into the levels of superconsciousness. Author's note. In this meditation, we're referring to transcendental meditation. End of author's quote. In Western science, there are primarily 4 stages of sleep: alpha, beta, theta, delta, these of which we will cover later in the text. When saying this, I humbly suggest to you that there is no right way to meditate. The primary goal is to experience the ethereal nature of the subconscious. Any means to arrive at this destination is permitted, so long as it does not harm oneself or the selves of others. I first cultivated a practice without the use of any herbs, supplements, or entheogens. In my personal experience, having a meditation, yoga, and or prayer practice has given me a strong foundation on which I can have transcendent experiences without any outside influences. I choose a place in an environment where I feel safe and I can relax. Then I'll stretch, breathe, do yoga, and pretty often I would drink a tea from Mitragyna speciosa or even ayahuasca, where legal, and if the situation permits me to do so. Sometimes I listen to music and lie down. It is recommended to use a recliner or sit in a cross-legged lotus position if you are doing a transcendental meditation without any stimulant or catalyst. As far as stimulants go, it's something to keep yourself aware as you go through the states of sub/super consciousness, as this helps to keep me from falling asleep, as well as some Buddhist monks who practice transcendental meditation and other meditations which focus on the inner workings of the soul in this way. I'm sure to do anything that will ease my mind into a calm, passive state of awareness. This can be breathing, relaxing, stretching, or anything that I find relaxing at the present moment that leads me to an aware yet relaxed state. The most important thing to note is that there are many different kinds of meditation, and this experience is different for each and every one of us. Author's note. There can be similarities in this experience if you're practicing with a partner or a friend. End of author's note. If it is your first time meditating, have an open mind and let things happen as they will. Some people strive for a silent, mindful state of being in which they have no corporeal self. Others may meditate to experience sensory hallucinations or tactile sensations. I choose to incorporate both experience and non-experience into my total awareness. Having non-experience allows for an experience to be created, and then I just bear witness. I found that the most beautiful experiences in life are the ones where I feel like I'm a passenger to God, who is orchestrating the breeze, the sun, and the ocean, almost as if it's just for me. He would, or she, will do the same for you too once you learn to let go. Mine and your experience is no better or worse than any others. It is just that your own experience. The best choice is always to let it go and be a God-driven and blissful one. Be tranquil. Meditation techniques. First, let's start with a seated position. For the best results, you will want to ensure that there is no tension in the body. Tension in the body, more often than not, is a result of tension in the mind. Stretch. Control your breathing by bringing awareness to it. Breathe deep, slow breaths and then quick, shallow breaths. It's like a breath exercise. And alternate and mix the techniques. Notice what the mind is doing and what you feel when you take slow, deep breaths. Notice what you feel when you take quick, shallow breaths. This allows for one to become attuned with their energy and manipulate it through breath. Have you ever noticed that you were angry and breathing quickly or not at all? That's how the breath works. It is deeply intertwined with the psychological and emotional states we experience, and this allows for one to be in control, or at least more aware of oneself. Notice that when one is relaxed, one breathes deeply and easily, as if one is asleep or resting, which are some of the most relaxing states. Seated meditation. You can either sit in a chair or a reclined sofa. You may also want to sit in the floor in a cross-legged position, as you have seen many yogis do. The most important factors are that you are comfortably situated and that you are not so comfortable as to fall asleep, depending on what kind of meditation you're practicing. Seated positions are best for transcendental meditation practices, this being so because it brings awareness to the state of a tranquil mind. Most people do not practice any awareness of thought or motion on deeper levels of experience. Thusly, most periods when the eyes are closed are unconscious sleep in comparison to a conscious meditation. Seated positions assist in stimulating awareness to bring about conscious inspection, whereas laying down in meditation is likely to lull the mind to sleep. There are endless methods for inducing a comfortable meditation practice. A. We can sit in a full or half lotus like the Buddha, a cross-legged sitting posture. If this position is comfortable for you, it is most preferred. It can be done at any time in any place, even in nature. B. If a seated lotus position is not your preferred posture, then the next thing is a cushion on which you can sit. This may allow for you to alleviate some of the stress in the legs associated with half lotus sitting. Meditation with a cushion can be ultimately beneficial if one cannot sit in a position comfortably upon a flat surface. This may allow for you to relieve stress on the lower back and legs. Sitting in a reclined position allows for one to become more fully immersed in a meditation, perhaps even more quickly. Reclining at an angle at around 45 degrees will allow you to become deeply relaxed while maintaining a subtle level of awareness. This position is also recommended for astral projecting. Meditating in a chair is most beneficial for those with back ailments and who would still like to experience the benefits of mindfulness practice. If one is not accustomed to falling asleep immediately, it may take hypnosis to induce a sleep state. Author's note. You can find hypnotizing music and guides on YouTube. End of author's note. When practicing all of these methods, you may want to support your back/neck area, especially so when not in a reclined position or lying down, as this will help to circumvent the possibility of losing balance as one becomes more deeply immersed in meditation. Lying down meditating. There are many advantages and disadvantages to meditating in a flat-lying position. One of the biggest advantages is being able to relax more easily. A disadvantage of lying down whilst meditating is falling asleep during your meditation. Either way, find out what position or positions of meditation you are most comfortable with and implement practices to catalyze your experience. The best position for a lying down meditation is and always will be on your back. This allows for deep relaxation while intently programming your mind to keep aware. This is one of the best methods for astral projection as well. Using a pillow or some sort of cushion underneath the head will assist in supporting the spine, making meditation less distracting by guiding concentration away from the tensions of the body. drifting in and out of consciousness. When meditating, sometimes we find lapses in perception. These can be termed as sleep. When practicing transcendental meditation, these lapses in perception are common but become less frequent with practice. Experiencing the etheric nature of awareness. The theory and purpose behind meditation can be different or the same for each individual. In this text, I am assuming that one of the purposes in meditating is to experience non-physical realities, to calm the mind, and or to merge with a more perfected version of one's self. Repeat this sentence. I understand myself on the very deepest level, and with this understanding, I embody it in my life. Journal entry, November 8th, 2015. I noticed in my meditation today that the more relaxed the body is, the easier it is to enter into a tranquil meditative state. Sometimes the best and most difficult way to meditate is in an upright, seated, or standing position, as the body is intimately intertwined with the mind, but they are also paradoxically unaware of each other in many aspects. We can see that an upright, seated meditation brings about attentive awareness or alpha states of brainwave activity. Relaxation of the body, paired with stimulation of the mind, brings about calm, passive observation. With this, we can sink into deeper states of self and loose the spirit from bodily awareness. It is also noted that awareness, we are assuming in all cases hereafter, that awareness is its own entity. It can be separate from the physical world. It is who I am, or at least a tool that I use to create my reality through the focus of it. Awareness tends to be readily engaged in any and all phenomena. That to experience that which is transcendent, one must train awareness to focus in a certain direction, i.e., awareness does not care whether it's watching TV or listening to music or anything, it just likes to experience. One must then focus this entity inwards towards stillness and use it as a vessel into the unknown. Furthermore, whilst all of these practices seem totally ethereal, they can actually be rather mechanical in nature. Being a scientific-minded person and having a belief that the universe is a multitude of unexplainable happenings, author's note, also explainable, end of author's note, I think that it would be safe to say that, though these phenomena may be precisely calculated, there's always a variable which is potentially unaccounted for. I account for this variable, I being the highest self. Luck, such like that. Meditation is a life practice that is more than sitting and focusing on your breathing for hours on end. You can walk, talk, eat, and drink in a state of meditation. Meditation is one pointed focus on a singular objective or object of existence. Breathe calmly and reflect on your current state of being. Experiencing states of blissful reverie is not a fantasy. It is a reality to behold. You can tune your vibration to the point that all around you, your entire world perception, can be changed to that of a different dimension. We are interdimensional beings, you and I. For example, you can walk around and see ghosts, entities, or angels with or without being in seated meditation. I infer that these are tried and true methods for reaching that level of consciousness. The universe is only what we perceive it to be. An interview with a mystic. Question 1. What is meditation to you? Answer. Meditation to me is more than just the face value of it being another spiritual concept. It is a study of the self through inquisition that will shatter the many faces of delusions one wears on a daily to hide from themselves. I can best describe it in metaphors with a poetic twist to it, as any other way would be to downplay it by assuming that it could be explained rationally. Meditation is a metaphysical science that turns that mind back onto itself, the source of itself, and becoming aware of the natural, noticing beyond the function of thought. Meditation is a state of being to be lived in every act throughout the day as a devotion to our innermost nature. The breath is the bridge that connects us back to our original state, which is why it is so emphasized in the most common practices of meditation. But what I am speaking of is an open-ended definition of meditation, not necessarily the many different practices of it, which you may explore on your own. It is the purity of a newborn, shelterless and unafraid of the world because it knows nothing of conditioning and constructs. It is the clarity of a morning sunrise that evaporates the mist from the field so one's vision may clear to see each blade of grass. That to me is meditation. Question 2. What do you think has helped you in your journey towards enlightenment? Answer. What has helped in on my journey towards enlightenment? Well, a lot of things. It extends from the immediate people that I interact with to the spiritual community that I see on social media, always providing their unique insight on certain topics and concepts. I still receive help daily from all that I encounter. I feel it is the totality of my experience that is the help with each and every detail that helps to paint the picture. Okay? Question 3. What are your influences, or excuse me, who are your influences / spiritual teachers? Answer. If you know me, then it will be quite an obvious answer. The seer mystic Almine, Almine. I would love to attempt to explain how much of an influence she has been in my life, but truly you will have to experience her for yourself and find your own interpretation from such a presence, gifted to us all. I am very private about it actually, and I've only shared briefly with a few others who are also familiar with her teachings and consider themselves a student of hers. As far as any other influences, I would say Alan Watts, Jocelyn Woods, Sierra Young, Suchi Smata, Muji, Rumi, Ralph Emerson, and many other poets throughout history that I cannot think of right now. Some of them you may have never heard of, and others you may know of. Question 4. What do you feel is a lesson that humanity should learn in order to progress in its evolution? Answer. Well, I feel there are many deep concepts to cover, but firstly, the main one should be the basics. There is only one self, and what you do to others, you do to yourself. It is simple. What you perceive in the seemingly outside world is only what you see within yourself, no matter if you want to take that responsibility or not. It is a fact of reality. Why do I feel this is so important? If you could truly see in the world or in another what you see in yourself, then it would give you no choice but to truly question yourself, your thoughts, your motives, your intentions, your beliefs, your identity, and who you think you are in the world. It will teach you to observe carefully how you refer to yourself with the knowledge that not only do you receive information, you transmit it. A lesson in basic metaphysics can change the way an average person goes about their days, only perceiving themselves as the ego. That will change humanity. To stop shunning themselves in favor of an illusory image that they've been programmed to believe is perfection and begin to truly question everything they thought was fact. If it is turned back onto oneself, then one has no choice but to go within. Question 5. Have you ever had doubts about where you are in life or your evolution? If so, how do you deal with those doubts? Answer. Yes, but doubts are fine, and the way to deal with them is purely to experience them and see their validation as a role in the overall play of your dance. If you begin to see how everything has its role in the act of creation, then you will also see how valid and valuable everything is, even the things we consider to be undesirable. These too shall be experienced and embraced. Not only will they be accepted, but understood as a part of yourself that makes the path of wholeness what it is, and without doubts there is no pattern. So I would say let everything be felt undividedly in the moment it is felt, because it is your teacher, not your master. It is a visitor in your home and has a gift for you, but it is only a guest and not a freeloader that drains you. Only when you fight it and try to push it out of the house does it say, no, wait, but you haven't taken my gift that I have for you. Yeah, astral plane. Lord Bear shit. You know what I'm saying? Call me. I would say that I'm a Martian, but I'm serious. I be dripping with my goddess from the mirror. We done made it to the top of the pyramid. Demons walking with me, angels in me, ain't no fear in me. If you look into my heart, purity. I'm a young astral god, know you curious. I can show you how I floated and mysterious. I'm residing with the gods, the bearers. Looking at my soul, so luminescent. They was talking shit, now I'm dancing on that grade 2-step. They tried to say it was an eye for an eye. I said turn the other cheek, don't try, bitch, do better. If I sip, it's gonna be straight out of the bottle. I was living in a grotto like my name was Hugh Hefner. Had a witch, she was siping in my energy. Conquered all my enemies, and now I'm driving 2 Teslas.